Hey kitties, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Marilyn and I'm bringing you all things beauty, fashion, lifestyle, even fragrance. So if you like that, take the time to go ahead and subscribe now. Okay, so we're getting into some new products that I picked up from the Sephora sale, and I think that I may have purchased the best powders that Sephora has to offer. Listen. You know what? I won't even try to convince you. I'm just going to show you because I can show you much, much better than I can tell you. And before we get into the powders, of course, I'm going to go ahead and get into my base first so you guys can see it. I feel like you appreciate the end product when you can see the process. So we're definitely going to get to the powders, but let's take a look at what I'm doing as far as the base goes. So the concealer that I used is by e.l.f. It's the Hydrating Camo Concealer. It's one of my favorite concealers. I noticed that I pick it up a lot. I love the way it blends, and I do love the finish overall when it comes to this concealer. So it's a tried and true for me. It's one of my favorites. So we're just going to continue to blend it, and it does look very buttery on the skin. I think it's the perfect shade. It's not too bright of a concealer, but it's just bright enough to bring dimension to my face. So bring light to those areas that I want to brighten and make look flawless, essentially. So I am going to add another concealer. This is by Morphe. This is in the shade Hazelnut. So I'm just adding a little dot of that for a little more coverage, and it's a little bit more of a neutral shade. It's very close to the e.l.f. shade, but this shade is a little bit more neutral. So I add a little dot of that for extra coverage. So I'm just blending that in. They both blend out very easily. I would say that these are two concealers that are really great for beginners because of how easily it blends. It doesn't take as much effort as a thicker or more opaque concealer. So now let's get into this powder. This is in the shade Pumpkin Pie. So it's the deeper shade of the two. So let's talk about the claims of this powder. So this is a 18-hour wear without flashback powder. Okay, so it visibly brightens and it also corrects. So that is why there's two shades. So I am going to mix my shade and go ahead and put it on the under eye, and I'm going to first place a very thin layer before I bake. By placing that thin layer of powder before we bake, it makes sure that the under eye is smooth and not patchy, and just using this very thin layer, you can see the product working already. I mean, if you compare the side that I powdered compared to the side that does not have the powder yet, which I will show you the difference, and here it is. The proof is in the pudding. Like, I don't have to convince you because you can literally see how blurred and filtered the under eye look with very minimal effort. That is important, very minimal effort. So I'm going to go ahead and just set the under eye with a thin layer, and then I am going to bake, and you are going to be able to see how flawless this powder is. When I tell you this powder, thoroughly impressed. I love a good complexion product. This is the first time that I've tried Huda Beauty's loose powders. I have tried that compact easy bake powder, but this is very, very good. If you love a flawless under eye, very good. So here we are. I'm just going to go ahead and bake, and this powder is going to sort of hang out under my eye until I complete the rest of my makeup. When Huda meant blurring, flawless, airbrush matte, yeah, I fear she actually meant it. So let's continue baking. I'm setting my under eyes. Near my T-zone is where I'm typically oily. This powder lasted hours. Now, I didn't have it on for 18 hours at all, but for several hours I did have this powder on, and my skin was flawless, super pretty. Even when the makeup sort of melts into the skin and marinates, it still looks fresh, as if I initially applied it hours into the wear. And I think that is pretty impressive. It's also genius to mix a correcting with a brightening powder. I mean, you can use these colors separately, but I love the way it looks using it together. Now, I haven't actually tried it separately, so I probably shouldn't say that, but I know that mixing it, as you can see, looks great. So maybe I should try it separately, first the correcting or only the brightening, and see how it looks. I'll maybe try that, but for right now, mix it. Go ahead and just mix it. So in this video, we're trying two things. So it's like a 2-for-1. All right, so I'm gonna finish up my eyes and then we're gonna get into the One Size Bouclé Powder. But as far as the eyes, I'm keeping it pretty simple. You see that I showed you my Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. I recommended that for the Sephora sale, and if you haven't grabbed it yet, you should definitely take a look at it. So I'm just sort of setting random areas and pushing the powder into my skin further. And now I'm applying my liquid blush. This is because I forgot to apply it before using the setting powder. So now you guys can see what happens when you put liquid on top of it. Now it still works, but it's not as easy to blend. So I personally would not recommend this. Normally I am able to put this e.l.f. blush on top of powder, but this powder specifically, no. I don't think it's a good idea, but I was able to blend it. But if you're like a beginner, it might be too much. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and applied my lashes off camera, but let's get into the Bouclé powder. So as the name states, this is a finishing powder. It is important to know that this powder is used after you have set your cream and liquid products. You're not going to use this to bake under the eyes with a wet concealer, absolutely not. But you are going to use this to sort of brush over your skin once all your makeup is complete. You would also use this powder to brush away the bake that you have under the eyes, and it blends it out so much nicer and smoother and a little bit more buttery. So when I purchased this initially, I thought it reminded me of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, which it does. It essentially does the same thing, but this powder is a lot more smooth, a lot more buttery, and the finish of it is beautiful. I think it is best applied with a brush. You can use a sponge, but I think it's nicer with the brush. I'm just showing you what the color looks like close up, and it has a little bit of a pearl finish. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see it, but this is a silky, silky, silky smooth powder. Impressed is probably an understatement because look what it did to my face. Look how it blended out the setting powder that was under my eyes, and the finish that it gives in person is truly a filter flawless finish. And pairing these two powders together, I think you might take over the world. Honestly, you might take over the world. And as you can probably tell, this is my first time using these powders, so I'm like looking in the mirror, then I'm looking in the camera, and I'm like, is it my eyes? Am I being overzealous, or does this really actually look as good as it looks to me in the mirror? And I'm like looking back and forth, and you know what? I think it actually does look just that good. Exactly, clock it. Listen, I am a complexion girl all the way. When it comes to makeup, my favorite products are the products that are for complexion. All right, so right now we're going to go ahead and do a quick lip combo. I believe this is Trendsetter by Morphe. Yeah, one of my easy grabs when it comes to lip liner. I've been loving this one. It's the perfect shade of brown, and it's dark enough to show up on deep skin, and I love that. I'm going to do a simple nude lip combo. So this is Trendsetter, and the lipstick we're going to put in is going to be by Maybelline. You're going to see that come up next, and it is called Punchy. So it's a nudie shade. It's from their Vinyl Ink line. So I'm going to place that on. It's the perfect nude. So there it is, Punchy. And then I'm going to put the most shiniest lip gloss that cost, I think it was less than $3. It's by Essence Beauty from Ulta. Probably the shiniest, smoothest lip gloss I have, and it's about $3. It just brought that lip combo to life. If you love a glossy lip, definitely look into the Essence lip glosses. So good. Looks so good. All right, so I'm just applying some blush. This is by House Labs. It's the Fire Moon blush. This is my go-to everyday blush. It's like a peachy terracotta shade. Perfect natural tone blush that's not doing too much. The complexion came out so flawless, and those powders, to me, like I said, I really think these are the best powders that Sephora has to offer. I'm so happy that I got it at the Sephora sale because I was at least able to get some discounts because, you know, makeup can kind of cost a bit, especially really nice makeup. So this is what the finished product looks like. Let me know what you guys think. If you've tried these powders, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, come back, watch another video, do all the things. We're trying to grow this little kitty gang over here, okay? And just soak in the look, and don't forget to come back and watch another video. Bye, y'all.
Let's go.